That sound you're hearing from the streets right now is the noise of millions of fantasy nerds around the world lifting their voices in unison to thank whatever gods they worship that Brandon Sanderson has finally agreed to adapt his books for TV and movies in a deal with Apple Television. Sanderson's the reigning king of high fantasy, and his book series like Mistborn and the Stormlight Archives, not to mention his contributions to the Wheel of Time series, have sold millions and millions of copies around the globe. He publishes so much and so frequently that there's compelling evidence he's not actually a human being, but just 3 typewriters wearing a trench coat. And like all luminaries in their field, Sanderson has tons of detractors, but I didn't stutter when I called him the king, and it's not just because he's consistently publishing great stories, but because of how seriously he takes his role within the community. He is constantly finding ways to uplift emerging authors or support other authors in their endeavors, or visit conventions or host conventions, or appear on podcasts, or make his coursework free, or just generally do whatever he can to give back to the community that has given so much to him. This deal is also really interesting because Sanderson is like famously selective and skeptical around Hollywood adaptation work and like the work of adapting these big fantasy properties generally. And apparently he's getting a level of control and like approval over what gets put on screen and how it gets put on screen that's going to exceed even what like a George R.R. Martin or a J.K. Rowling gets. The Smart Money says they'll probably adapt the Mistborn trilogy first, which makes all the sense in the world, but his universe, the Cosmere, is filled with stories and characters who would be great fits for television or movie adaptations. And Sanderson's a big fan of like high-quality animated work, so we'll probably get some animated versions as well. I, for one, cannot wait to see some of these stories that I love so much appear on the screen, and I would be really curious to know how much this deal went down for. Whether there's properties you want to see adapted first or fan castings that you're getting really excited about, I'm curious what you think about this news.